some sapphires, so let's get right into it. And that's my puppy over there. Like,
you know what's bad? Recommend.
Puppy, come over here. Dog. Like, my viewers want to say hi. Alright, I think they know. I don't even know. Dog, I'm gonna wrestle you. Pretty sure we don't have to know about this. Oh, well, that's my dog trying to escape. Honey, honey, honey. Oh.
Installs your computer in just 2 clicks, and you can get Honey for free at JoinSS. That's joinhoney.com/SS. Hey, I'm Sapphire.
Morning, this is Gary. Feel the vibe, people. Feel the vibe.
The Vampire of Serbia.
The Vampire of Serbia.
Did you know that one of the only words in the Serbian language that is used globally is vampire? It comes from vampire. Many cultures have their own variation of a vampire, but the word itself comes from Serbia, as does today's story, inspired by a submission from Alex. In the mountains of Serbia in the 1700s lived a man in a watermill. His name was Sava Savanović. He was a gaunt, pale, hermit-like man, rarely seen in the daytime. Villagers would come to get flour from the mill, but never stayed long, as rumor had it that those who visited the mill never returned. One morning, a customer entered the mill to find Sava dead, with 2 unusual bloody spots on his neck. When the villagers moved his body, a yellow butterfly crawled out his mouth and flew away. The authorities investigated the scene, but the culprit was never found. After Sava was buried, the watermill was abandoned. The villagers said it was cursed. Many years passed, and a poor young man named Strahinja fell in love with Radoika, the daughter of a wealthy landowner named Sivan. Sivan forbade Radoika to marry Strahinja because he could not trust that this penniless young man could support his daughter. But Strahinja was determined to prove himself to Sivan. If he could get the local abandoned mill up and running again, he too could become a wealthy man. My dear, Radoika begged, I know that you're trying to win my father over, but that mill is dangerous. It isn't worth it. Strahinja looked deep into her eyes. You are worth it. So Strahinja reopened the abandoned mill. Business was slow at first, but the villagers, desperate for a way to make bread, started trickling in to buy grain. Little by little, his business grew, as did Strahinja's confidence. But even so, he was still fearful of the old legends of the place, so he slept in a small windowless room that he padlocked each night, his gun always within reach. Every night, the inside of the mill would rattle as if someone was rummaging around. He was terrified. As soon as he was married, he would abandon the mill, he thought. Strahinja continued working while secretly planning his marriage, but each night, the rattling returned, growing closer to his door. Until one night, the door itself was rattling. On the eve of their wedding, the pounding was so hard, the door flung open, and a tall, gaunt man looked down at Strahinja, who took aim with his gun. Who are you? Demanded Strahinja. The man smiled.
Who are you? You are trespassing on my home.
Strahinja couldn't believe it. It was Sava. The man leapt on top of him, and he fired at his chest. Sava screeched an unholy noise and flew up to the rafters out of the mill. Worried villagers arrived as Strahinja exited in a panic. Sava was here! An elder led Strahinja to a graveyard. There lay the old tombstone of Sava Savanović, but the earth above his grave was loose. Strahinja dug up the dirt, revealing the coffin. They pried it open, and there, in the moonlight, with a fresh bullet wound through his chest. How do we kill an undying man? The villagers murmured. We hold him here forever, Strahinja replied as he took a metal spike from his overcoat and hammered it down through the corpse's chest. Sava's eyes flew open, his mouth agape. The villagers reeled back as a yellow butterfly slowly climbed out of Sava's mouth and took off into the night sky, Strahinja returned to his dear Radoka's home to share the good news. As he opened her bedroom door, he noticed her window was left open. In flew the yellow butterfly. It landed on her sleeping lips and climbed its way inside her mouth. Strahinja ran to get the butterfly out, but it was too late. Radoka's eyes fluttered open. Her warm smile turned to a devilish grin, revealing 2 sharp teeth in the pale moonlight. She sank her fangs into Strahinja's neck. And now, they would finally be together. Thank you to all of our patrons. If you'd like to join our VIP program, visit Patreon.
That was creepy. That seems cool. Oh, hell no, let's 20 minutes.
Hey, check out this new guy. He seems pretty legit. Let's make an alliance and start trading right away. Alright, dude, I'm gonna send you a lot of resources. This should help you. Check it out. Check out all those resources. Holy crap, barbarians! Come on, man, you gotta help me out. I just sent you everything I got. So you gotta send all your troops over. We're gonna take them out. Damn, look at all those T3s. Best alliance ever.
Rise of Kingdoms. Download for free.
If you're like me and just don't have the time to go shopping for clothes, then you're going to love Stitch Fix. Stitch Fix is an online personal styling service that finds and delivers.
Today's creepy stalker story is sponsored by Honey. Honey is a free browser extension that saves you money so you'll never have to overpay anytime you shop online. Honey scans the internet for coupon codes and other discounts at over 20,000 sites like Amazon, eBay. A week before Kim's 10th birthday, she walked to the corner store with a $5 bill and picked up a jar of ragu for her mom. On her way home, a man she'd never seen before began talking. "Hi," he said cheerfully. "My name is Dr. Ramsey. I'm a pediatrician. Do you know what a pediatrician is?" Kim walked along silently, not replying and fervently hoping he would take that as a sign he should leave her alone. "I was just on my way to get some lollipops for the candy jar in my office. What's your name?" Thankfully, they were nearing her house, so she ran forward and went inside. Kim didn't know it then, but that was the beginning of a very long and very scary ordeal. It didn't take long after that for Dr. Ramsey to begin showing up. He would drive by nearly every day, smiling and waving. Kim told her mom, who said maybe it was on his way home from work. But then the phone calls began. Kim's dad asked about the day Dr. Ramsey followed her home, and if she talked to him. He said she wasn't in trouble, but that she needed to tell him the truth. Kim told him no, and he asked if she was sure or if she could be forgetting something. She said no again, and he frowned, then asked, "Then how does he know your name?" Kim didn't know. It turns out that was not all he knew. He knew her sister's name as well. Neither Kim nor her sister were allowed to answer the phone, and he called several times a day. Then one night, one of Kim's brothers told them that he was telling their parents that he was going to hurt her and later her sister. Things got complicated after that. Kim's dad called the police, but as this was before there were any stalking laws, there was not a lot they could do. They told the parents to call back if he tried anything. Kim's dad then called a friend of his who happened to be a cop. For the next month, her dad's friend escorted her to and from school. She couldn't go outside alone anymore. Then one afternoon, all the siblings and their mom were in the kitchen, when all of a sudden one of the brothers saw a glimpse of someone in the garage. Dr. Ramsey came bolting out of it and the brother chased after him. They ran all the way to Cherokee Park where he lost him in the trees. Kim's parents called the police again, but nothing came out of it. The only information they had was a description and a name that was almost certainly fake. A couple weeks later, the family woke up to something horrific happened to their German Shepherd. The cops said there was no evidence it was him and ruled it accidental, but none of them believed that. His phone calls became more informative in the meantime. That night, the dad put in some carpenter nails in the bottom of the French doors until he got a new lock ordered. Her parents had to go to a company event for her dad's work, and the older brother was at a skating event, so only the 3 younger ones were home. Suddenly, the top of the French door swung inward, and in the few milliseconds before the nails in the bottom caused them to snap back, Kim could see his silhouette. The sisters crept down to the brother's room to look. Someone was standing at the back door, knocking loudly. "What do you want?" she said. "Is this the Mercy residence? I have a pizza for delivery." She scoffed at him, declaring she was not stupid and she was calling the cops. Before they knew it, he left. A short while later, her brother returned home. Kim told him what happened and he walked around the yard watching for him. By now, the family had pretty much given up calling the cops because it never helped. As the younger brother was in the kitchen, he had this sensation that he was being watched. He stepped closer, then closer again until he was right up to the door. There on the other side of the window was Dr. Ramsey smiling back at him. He turned to yell for his older brother, but when he looked back again, he was gone. They went out again to look for him, but didn't see him anywhere. A week later, Kim was at school and the kids were outside on the playground during recess. She was swinging upside down when she saw that familiar blue car cruising by, moving slowly. There he was, smiling and waving. He called her name and Kim ran to the teacher and told her. The school had been told all about him and the teacher took her inside right away and called Kim's mom. That same day, her mom had gotten a call from the school office asking her to verify that Kim's dad was picking her up, as he called to say that he was on his way. He wasn't. Not long after that, Kim woke up one night thirsty. She went down to the kitchen for a drink, and there, sitting alone in the dark, was her dad. On the table was a gun. He was tired of being afraid every time he left for work that something would happen to his kids while he was gone. Kim sat with him for a time, watching, before he sent her back to bed. Then, as suddenly as it began, it was over. He had vanished from their lives. The phone calls, the drive-by and creepy waves, everything. For a long time during and after the Dr. Ramsey incident, she would have a recurring nightmare in which she would wake up to find him standing over her as she slept. It took time before Kim felt like a kid again. She still wonders if the wait had ended for her dad when he was waiting in the darkened kitchen that one night. Kim doesn't know, and she's not sure that she wants to.
What's up, guys? Okay, guys, that's all we have for today. So I'll see you all in my next video.